Jeff's not even prepared for the fucking song.
I was. I just wanted to.
You reached
Guys,
over
actually,
for like a
actually,
solid fucking
round.
I very much wanted to talk about this. I've had fellas.
I hate every one
I've
of
got
you so much.
I've had an epiphany.
Did you?
What if we
Is this from having the asexual
epiphany.
equivalent of sex?
No. What if we just make it a point to talk over the intro?
That's a terrible idea.
You think so?
John spent a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to. Well, I'm not saying take out the intro. I mean, don't sully the good name of Mr. Fitzwater, friend of the podcast.
Hey, I've got an easy solution to this.
You're right. I'm wrong.
There.
That's not a
So
solution.
now we talk over the
I don't
now
know,
we
it
talk over the
seemed-
title.
Is that a drop now? You're right, I'm wrong.
That's been a job.
I've had that.
I barely even recognized it. I thought he just said that.
Jeff would never say that. That's why you had to catch it. Because it's a
Welcome,
monumental
everyone,
moment.
to the TB&J podcast. Across from me in studio is Troy Brittingham.
The dim.
The Dimp. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the flesh.
And across from me is Jeff Ackerman.
Thank you. Thank you. I do not have a nickname yet because I haven't done something stupid and no one said something stupid about me that's stuck yet. But I'm sure
Please,
it will happen.
we could find plenty.
Oh, I'm sure you could if you tried. That asshole is Chris. Hi, Chris.
Now tetanus free for the next 5 years.
Ooh.
That's a random fact about you. Great job.
That
No, tell us
is
more.
That is not a joke. I had to get a tetanus shot today.
How'd that go? Tell us all about your tetanus shot.
I got to skip out on work, so that's great.
D's here too, everyone.
We could append that to the end.
What
of
would
the
you say is the
Okay.
temperature of the tetanus shot that you got?
No one cares. No one fucking cares.
Did you get left arm or right arm?
I got my right arm.
Okay. Okay.
Damn, Chris wearing the wife beater, showing off them guns.
Anyway, what are we
Oh my
watching
gosh,
today,
They're
Jeff?
out. No,
Today,
I want
guys-
to talk about them guns.
Tim Gunn and James Gunn. Those are the guns
So
I
you
like.
Started with
Blazingly white.
Tim, huh?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't think you'd get whiter, Chris.
They're
and then I
not the
saw
ones
your
who
guns.
produced the show that the movie that we've watched for this
No,
episode.
so we watched Mortal Kombat. It's now streaming on HBO until May 23rd. So watch it quick, or just wait for it to come out streaming like by digitally, whatever. But when I was a kid, I used to watch Gilmore Girls with my mom and my sister.
Where
and
the fuck
Tim
is this
Gunn.
going?
Tim
Ooh,
Gunn.
okay.
Tim Gunn has a role in the show as Kirk, who's like the town weirdo, and he's in every episode.
Oh, that's what this is. Okay.
yeah. So
I
I
thought
knew
this related to Mortal Kombat
I
somehow.
knew Tim Gunn, and then someone was like, "Oh, the new Guardians movie is directed by James Gunn," and I was like, "Oh, is he related to Tim Gunn, the actor?" And I remember, I think it
No,
was you.
he's a porn star.
I think it was you, Troy, who looked me in the eye, and you were like, "How the fuck do you know Tim Gunn and not James Gunn?"
I thought
you
that
know,
you were about to
that's
tell.
a fact I could absolutely believe about Jeff.
I
That
thought
he
you
would
were
know
just-
Tim Gunn as opposed to James Gunn.
It's true. I just told that story on the
That's
podcast.
on point for Jeff.
I really thought that you were about to equate Gilmore Girls to Mortal Kombat for a second. Like,
Oh, it
B.
gets
Arthur.
really, really gross when Lorelai just like completely knocks out Luke, and then she heads through Stars Hollow, and she takes out Taylor, and then she goes and takes out Gypsy, who's the mechanic.
What's Betty White's
Wait, is that
fatality?
Gilmore Girls or
Troy's
The
going
Pony-
with
the Pony
Golden Girls.
cartoon.
Oh, shit.
I said
Fuck.
Gilmore Girls.
Shit! Damn it! Ass! Dick! Fuck!
You fucking idiot!
As soon as you said Betty White, I was like, they don't know what they're talking about.
You fucking idiot!
Okay, but
You fool.
I would like to know what Betty White's fatality is.
Boring
Joe.
story
She
about.
just
I've seen
outlives
it.
The other
You've
person.
seen Community. She uses
That's
all
correct.
of them to form a
That's
deck.
correct. You stand over there with your respect, and we'll see how far that gets you.
You see how that works out for you. Strangles them and shoots them with a blow dart.
So, we
I seen the rains down in Africa. Anyway,
we watched Mortal Kombat, guys. We watched the new Mortal Kombat movie. Not to be confused with the old Mortal Kombat movie that came out the year Troy and I were born in 1995.
And not to be confused
Dear
with Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
gosh.
the greatest movie ever made.
That is heavy sarcasm in case you guys couldn't hear that.
Have you watched Annihilation?
No, but I own it digitally
No.
on my Xbox 360.
but
We
you know
need
what?
to
I
watch
did fall
Annihilation.
asleep to what seemed to be a very good animated movie of Scorpion's Revenge or whatever. the hell it
That's
was.
great. We did it for the
I
podcast
did
right
start
before we got
watching
on.
the first half of that and then I fell asleep.
Scorpion's Revenge is a really good animated
It was
movie.
soothing. It was a nice way to sleep. I was like, ooh. Look at
Although
all
it does
those body
have,
parts.
have that
yes.
son of a bitch playing Johnny Cage.
I don't know who was playing.
Joel
who.
McHale.
Yeah, it was Joe McHale.
Yeah.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
As-
What
as-
good casting.
What a fucking asshole.
It is really good casting, but fuck him.
I'm
So
still
we-
gonna
Oh
be
man,
mad
we got to
about
talk
it.
about who. Oh man, that's going to be a good discussion as to who
I
you
think
should
us
play. That's gonna be-
punching
all
up
right.
to Joel McHale
Uh-huh.
is just such a bad idea.
Only
He's so-
Chris could is the only one who could potentially punch across to him.
Also,
no,
Jeff,
wait, maybe Troy. Maybe Troy. I don't know how
Who-
tall you are,
Who would
but
we
Jeff and I
punch-
would definitely be punching up every time.
Because we're
He's
shorter
like 7
now.
feet
Who-
tall.
Who would we
You could just punch
down
straight and
to?
punch into his perfect fucking ass. What an asshole.
But who would we punch down to? Who's below us?
My other podcast, Jaeger Bombs with Johnny's mom.
Ah, right.
Oh, man.
Damn.
God, that John
Man, just
Fitzwater
shitting all
fucking
over that
sucks.
Fitzwater kid.
Yeah, he sucks.
I feel bad, Johnny.
What do you?
Mermaid Man?
Does
Listen.
anybody have bad things
You
to
want-
say about him?
I do. Do you want to hear one?
Go for it.
So John and
No.
I went to a punk show at FDR Skate
God.
Park in the city, and he got laid by a girl who lives in a van.
Okay.
What are
That's
you,
Well,
a
I-
PR
I-
guy?
What sized van?
It was like a camper van, but
Okay.
she just
Was
lived in
it
it. That was her thing.
by a river?
Yeah, was it?
It was not by. Well, it was in FDR, so it was like
Did
close
he
enough to the river.
assume the form of Chris Farley?
I hope so. He was very inebriated, so it's possible.
Does
Are
that
they
make
living
you
together
David
now?
Spade?
That
Is
does
he
make
now
me-
living in a van by the river?
No, but I was his ride home, so I had to stay at the skate park for a couple
So
hours
you
waiting
were
for him to
David
come out of the
Spade.
van, so I could drive him.
How
home.
You
old
were
are
David
you?
Spade.
Did you got dropped off the skate park and didn't have a ride home? Is that
No,
what
no,
just
no.
happened? You just said just happened to you?
I was his ride home, so I was waiting for him to finish
Oh,
with
That's
Van Girl.
when you
Gross.
go home and tell him, hey, if you want to ride, don't hook up and then, get distracted
Oh, that's
for
like
several
that's
hours.
like that's like Rorschach's origin story.
I was a good bro about it. I drove my buddy home.
That's a deep cut for you. There you go.
Because we were at FDR. It's in the fucking city. It would have been a hell of a way to get home at like fucking 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday. Anyway, not the point. But that was just a funny John Fitzwater story I had for you guys from recent history.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. Just
You know what?
kidding.
Let's all give a round of applause for John Fitzwater for getting fucked.
In a van at a skate park at a punk show. Like it doesn't get any like. There you go. Thank you.
Well,
Congratulations.
that brings us
God.
to that brings us back to the question of Troy.
Mortal
What is
Kombat.
the asexual equivalent of sex?
Yeah, Troy. What is the asexual equivalent of sex? We have to know.
Is it like a really good sandwich?
And do you still smoke
well,
a
the-
cigarette afterwards?
No, I don't smoke. I don't do anything that a cool guy does. I don't have sex. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't.
You haven't
I
done
don't-
anything interesting with your life.
Gosh. Okay. Well, he does have that jacket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got that. They got that going for him.
Mm-hmm,
Love those Windows sounds, everybody.
And that dimp. Don't forget
Yeah.
that dimp. And the perfect cock.
I feel
Okay,
like
so
the stereotype is cake, or not stereotype, but like the thing that the asexual community throws around is having cake, eating cake.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
We've
a
been
thing.
calling numerous
Yeah, no, and
people, actors in the
Right,
shows
no,
that we
well, no,
cover
the-
cake.
the
What the fuck
on-running-
have you been subtly saying? What kind of like
the,
what kind
the-
of like like okay
I've been-
symbols
I've
have you
been-
been sending
I've been
to
very
the audio world?
I've been very
Like-
sexually attracted to Giancarlo Esposito and Taika Waititi. Is all I'm saying.
my God.
No, but the on-running sort of joke on like any sort of like a Reddit or a Twitter or a.
Are you doing your
Tumblr?
Obama impression right now?
And,
Yeah, what the fuck is happening to you?
What the hell was that?
I believe I did, and I'm gonna.
And
I'm gonna fight
America.
it, and
America
it's
first.
not all right for America. It's
Yeah,
not okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's not all right.
The voters deserve only the best.
We're
And
giving
you're
you
not gonna
time to
get that.
think, Troy. We're giving you time to think about an answer to this question.
We can
gonna
only
give you a little
vamp
more time.
for so much.
I can only.
I want to
wait
see
so
how
long.
far
I
this
can only
goes.
wait so long.
No, fucking finish the
what
story
you
about
said about
case,
your
you
cock. One of
asshole.
them
No,
running-
but
That's what
the-
we said about your cock.
The on-running joke
I'm
about
just
the
kidding.
asexual community
Barry out.
is eating is eating cake is the equivalent to sex, and eating cake is better than sex. But that's
mean,
not my own thing.
Hang on.
Yeah.
The right slice of cake
Correct.
could very well be better than like some mediocre sex where the girl's kind of like just starfishing and you're doing all the work. Like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
there
I
is-
can definitely think of cake that has been better than that.
right? Like you can definitely find some
But-
cake that's
but
better
is-
than certain.
Is there
sex.
a best cake that's better than the best sex?
No.
Weinrich Bakery does a double chocolate fudge cake in Willow
You
Grove,
had
PA.
that
This
They're
is
fucking
still
loaded up.
This is still a
Jeff
classic
has
defect.
pulled out
We
the
asked a
fat
question.
card.
We asked a question about his personal opinion, and then he gave us a definition of things. Like he's like,
Well,
the
do you not have an
definition of
opinion?
what a thing is. Yeah. What is your what is the equivalent? Is it cake for you?
What
Is
makes
that
me, what makes
when
me
you have
so what makes me so happy?
I was
what
going to say
makes-
horny,
like, is
but I
it
guess
when
that
Mortal
doesn't
Kombat
exist.
came out?
Is
See, I
it
brought
a-
it back around, guys.
Is it
It only took 11 minutes.
is it a problem that I can't think of something that makes me happy? Is that a problem? Do I need some sort of help?
Well, to be fair, we're not talking about just happy. We're talking about perfectly happy.
True.
I mean, if we go by Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel's soul leaving his body standards of perfect happiness,
Yeah, like what's euphoric?
it was orgasm. It was orgasm with the person that he loved. So it's a little bit of a higher standard because he could afterwards it was equated and verified that he could bang and gasm. One would assume, but not achieve a moment of happiness to therefore then lose his soul.
I would
As
probably
the curse
say
dictates.
I'd probably say, and Jeff's gonna yell at me, and he's gonna be very mean to me, and he's gonna give me a spanking. But
Will that make you happy?
I'm no incorrect.
What if I put a collar on you and I had a paddle while I did it? Would that make you happy?
Dude, don't do it on air.
Oh my God! Anybody who came to this podcast looking for Mortal Kombat is so disappointed.
Oh, they're getting a different kind of combat.
Oh,
This is
the
not what
combat
they
of
meant
how
by
long can
finish
I
him.
listen to this? It's a war of attrition.
But
It's a war of attrition to keep your sanity.
I get very happy when I open up X-wing models. That's a thing.
Jesus Christ, you are a fucking
you know what?
dork.
And
Oh,
that's
man.
100% better of an answer than just saying, well, a definition of the asexual people.
Okay,
That's
listen,
all
Chris,
we wanted you to say and admit. All right,
had
we were
to-
waiting for that answer the entire time. I knew that answer before I asked the question. Why did it take you so long to admit it?
I recently actually just bought Poe's black X-wing from Force Awakens, and I'm very excited about it. I keep doing that. Like,
Thank
I'm
you,
super,
Barry.
That fucking growl in the back of my throat.
You're
I
welcome.
must have done it a billion times. I've never been called out for it. Now I feel self-conscious.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. So anyway, guys, Mortal Kombat, 13 and a half minutes into this recording. Let's get this on the roll. So,
Just cut all that out. Mortal Kombat. How was it, guys?
I'm not cutting any of that gold out. Are you insane? So Mortal Kombat opens at the classic beginnings of the Mortal Kombat story, where you have Bi-Han, who is the leader of the Lin Kuei clan, aka Sub-Zero, starting this conflict with Hanzo Hasashi, who becomes Scorpion. And those are the two faces of Mortal Kombat. Everyone knows the yellow fiery ninja and the blue icy ninja. Even if you've never fucking seen Mortal Kombat or played a game, you know the fire ninja and the ice ninja. It's fucking iconic at this point.
It's like, why did they go with yellow and blue when those are not like alternative colors? Like they
It
don't.
should have been an orange and blue, because that would have been
No,
the opposite
well,
of the color
fine,
wheel.
but it could have been like red at the very least, or like red or blue, or something like that. Orange and blue would obviously be the color palette. Well, is that a perfect color? It's just the most complementary, right? Or like
I
antithesis.
think orange and blue are the complementary colors, because they're on opposite ends of the color wheel. But yellow
whatever.
is
It's just
close.
all the covers of the
they're
all the
Back
covers.
to our
called supplement
color review episode.
All
of
the
TB&J.
all the colors that are on the covers of movies in like the 2000s are those
right,
colors.
red and blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bright colors.
No, it's orange and blue
Okay.
or
Well,
yellow and blue. Anyway, whatever.
Doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
you can- the point is that
No,
like
no,
it's
they
the
had
color
to
wheel.
they had to shell out all the orange filtering for
It's just that
scenes
it's just
shot
that
in Mexico.
it's just that I just don't see yellow and blue, especially like the kind of light, kind of sky blue that Sub-Zero is. And Sub-Zero is such not a ninja name. Like, Scorpion works. Sub-Zero is always like, oh, Rob Liefeld named you. Like, like.
There's not nearly enough pouches on Sub-Zero.
So no. Backstory.
He would wear a pouch though.
That's true.
He would have
I want to see Sub-Zero with a fanny pack now.
And it just has
that.
more ice. It just
has
on it.
ice.
He's like, this is what it really is.
They're like
And
thermal
it's
pouch.
not like
They
his
went-
normal.
they
It's not
went,
like
"You
his
can-"
normal ice. It's just ice cubes.
Yeah, like a thermal pouch that you find on a
It's
swimsuit
just
where the
a
guy
kid
keeps
who
like a beer
packed his
can.
fridge.
Sometimes just
It's all wet.
he sometimes just kind of reaches out, and he
melting.
just grabs them out and just throws it at your head. You're just like, ah, fuck.
That hurt.
Oh, that really hurt. Why? the
You're
fuck
such a
would you do that?
freak. Get it. Go away. Nobody likes you.
It's at this point of the podcast, I'd like to apologize for headphone listeners for D screaming into his microphone when he gets overly excited.
Sorry.
It's all right.
You told me to
I'm not
talk into it
sorry.
close.
I did. I told you to like a blowjob.
Really
Like,
deep
like a
throat that
blowjob.
one.
Told you to
But when you
talk
start
into it, not
yelling, the
scream
idea is to
into
pull
it.
back a bit.
I really screamed.
It's okay.
Alright,
So
go on.
we get a really badass fight scene between Bihan and Hanzo Hasashi, just fucking beating the shit out of each other. Hanzo murders a whole bunch of the Lin Kuei ninjas, and then he takes on Bihan in this crazy fight. Bihan does eventually win. He kills Sub-Zero, whose body disappears in flames.
So yeah, that was the weirdest part. But I love just to stop at this opening. They did release this earlier, and I saw, I guess, most of this. Right? Was this the whole?
Yeah, I
opening?
believe IGN got the footage. They put it on YouTube. It was like
Yeah,
the
it was
first 7
great.
minutes.
It was nice. It was good. I really dug it. I love this actor. He's actually in he's in
Hanzo or
Avengers.
Bihan?
Hanzo. He's in Endgame, Avengers Endgame. He plays someone that's assumed to be. I actually forget the character's name, but he's
He's the guy Hawkeye is chasing or something, right?
yeah, he's the guy Hawkeye chases, and he's also in Westworld. He's also in Westworld. He's one of the kind of the robots, I guess, but he plays a bunch of different characters. Obviously, like they all do.
Okay,
He's really
okay.
cool. I really think he's really engaging. I really hope he continues to see more stuff. Like he's really good. But he's like I loved his whole kind of thing. I loved him using the weapon. Was just so neat. Like that was I love how they kind of incorporated that, and he just kind of makes it there. I like the whole story. Like I mean, except for like the whole and then the flames just kind of took him. But what did you guys think of? I kind of like the progression that we see of Sub-Zero, or what is his name? Because I get
Bihan.
the Scorpion is Hanzo, so Bihan. So I like the act. I don't know much about this guy. I haven't seen him before, but or I don't recognize him, but. He's this is good, but what do you think of like the progression of his like powers? Because it looks like this is kind of like a little, I don't know, maybe not, but it seemed like it was like harder for him to generate ice back then.
Yeah, it seems like he was more like learning about his powers, and as opposed to when we see him present day, centuries later, and he's all masked up and armored up, and he's like got full total.
And he
control
goes
of
by
ice.
Sub-Zero. Like
He's
he like
got-
wants to be.
yes.
He's got a bit of
called
a
that now.
he's got a bit of like a horror movie slasher villain vibe in some scenes.
Yeah, and instead of being more like like in the comic, in the games, I keep saying comics because we just do too many comic book things. There are Mortal Kombat comics, but instead of the traditional like
Comics is comic spelled with a K.
yeah, you better believe it.
It's
Is it spelled with two Ks?
MKK.
no, it's probably a C at the end, I'd assume.
Anyway, so
No, it's
These are
comics,
important
and it's a
questions.
C. It's a K at the beginning and a K at the end. Comics.
And Sub-Zero has always traditionally had much more of like a deep royal blue outfit, and then a lot of parts of his outfit are like silvery, and they have like blue lights in them to make him look more like, I don't know how else to say, but like icy kind of a thing. But in this movie, they make him a lot darker. They make him like almost a black uniform. And at first, I thought that they were going like a noob Cybot route, but it turns out it is just still Bihan. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
You know, It's.
I didn't.
Pika's feature.
I just saw blue all the whole time. I didn't.
Yeah, in the video games, Bihan gets murdered by Scorpion, and he gets resurrected as Noob Saibot, who
And
is a different ninja who wears all black, and he
you
has
see that-
power of shadows and stuff.
Did you see that this actor signed on for 4 movies after this?
I saw that, and I kind of just rolled my eyes because like actors and like movie production companies, they sign like lofty
Yeah.
contracts all the time,
I'm
and
surprised they didn't do 7.
yeah, like if they break the contract, like who fucking cares? This just
Sure.
means that they have that character if they want him.
Right,
for
but it
another
at
few
least
movies.
means that they're planning 4 more movies. And
They
they're
yeah.
greenlit for another one.
they lock these things in case they franchise. They're just like it's a standard kind of movie clause.
Right,
of these
right, I
days.
know
like,
that.
Like especially with like a pre-property like this that's kind of like supposed to be that. They're like, listen, when you say that if you take out this role, if this works out, you're doing 5. You're doing these 5 of them, like contractually.
Right.
So like that's kind of the deal with all of these, and that's
Right.
why you get like even it's all built in. That's why you get like I think like Tom Holland keeps like they keep having to redo the Sony thing because like Tony or Tom Holland is like signed up to a certain number of movies that he has to do. So,
Right,
like,
and the famous example, Troy, of why they do this is something you might know is Harrison Ford and George Lucas
Yep.
in the original trilogy
Mhm.
because they couldn't get him originally for 6 until they offered him all the money in the world, and at that point George Lucas was pissed off.
And more recently, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, so like to save their asses in the long run, they just have you sign an amazingly long contract, and then if they decide not to make the rest of the movies, then it doesn't matter. Because I mean, you're not really breaking contract. So Hollywood's weird, but they just don't want to get fucked over the way Lucas was with Harrison Ford in Episode 6.
but like
and that's
yeah,
just
but,
that's just a very
it's not,
prominent
it's not
example.
fucked over.
Yeah, they weren't
yeah,
gonna kill
yeah, George
Han
Lucas
Solo
got
off
fucked
screen
over.
while
No,
Mac
George
was
Lucas
dead
really
by
got
then.
fucked over. Like
It's a bad way of saying it, but it's just they didn't have him contractually obligated to return for 6.
If
and he
you-
just
if you
wanted-
actually look-
if the actor gets the leverage at any given point, like fuck them, they deserve it. Like
Yeah.
the actor is the last person
So
that
long as
ever
the
gets
actor's not a
leverage.
dick.
That
If you
means
actually
it
look-
doesn't.
If you actually look
I don't know.
10 feet slightly left of the van that John was fucking in, it was actually the van that poor George Lucas is living out of nowadays.
here in Philadelphia in FDR
Yeah.
skate park.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's very interesting. Anyway,
It's not where I would have expected.
Mortal
him to
Kombat.
be.
Mortal Kombat.
So they hide the little baby underneath, and that continues the bloodline.
Yeah, the little
into-
baby gets hidden away under the floorboards, which didn't have-
into Troy got it wrong. He is not Johnny Cage. He is actually an original character. The
You're correct.
long
You're
lost.
correct. I
Or the
am
long lost.
Okay, so
brethren.
Cole Young is an original character for this movie.
great-grandson?
correct. Yes,
Yeah.
Cole Young
Yeah.
was fabricated by the
Dear
movie people.
Okay, because I
Dear
definitely
God,
recognize
I
some of
didn't
the
mind-
from the
conspiracy
I didn't-
short
theory.
stint.
I tolerated his character the entire movie, and I was just so disappointed in his dumb-looking, like power thing. His little,
They
like,
just made him a better MMA fighter.
His plot armor that he got.
He literally got plot armor.
It
yeah.
was
literal
so
power.
weird. It was such a goofy kind of. It reminded me. I mean, I guess it's on point. It reminded me of like an early '90s comic book type of superhero character.
Mhm.
Like he's gonna have like I don't know rapping, and it'll kind of look like a,
And
a
we've
cop,
established-
like a cop's baton.
We've
Like,
established
he'll-
earlier.
He'll have cop batons instead of claws. He won't have Wolverine claws. He'll have cop baton, like a cop batons.
We've
you know what I mean?
established earlier he's really bad at fighting, so now his power is he can get the shit beat out of him, but make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Anyway, just to speed past, we get
Yeah.
we get some. I'm sorry, Lord Raiden comes down with lightning from the sky,
Lord Raiden.
and he saves the little baby Hasashi child, and then teleports away, and we don't see them again until the next scene, I guess. We get a little bit of text on screen, which I usually always hate in movies, but this time I kind of rolled my eyes. I didn't hate it so much, but it does explain the premise of Mortal Kombat as it is a
It was like
thing.
the same thing as the first movie, right?
A little
Wasn't it?
bit, yeah. But they explain how realms are constantly fighting each other, and Earthrealm has lost 9 tournaments in a row against Outworld. And if Outworld wins the 10th tournament, then they will absorb Earthrealm, which is bad for Earthrealm, right? So that's kind of like the
I
premise.
don't know where the health benefits of Outworld.
I don't know, man, but I'm gonna assume not great
Yeah, I mean,
considering everything
is it-
we've
is this
seen.
like
of
a
her.
You're out of this
takeover?
world.
Good
Is this
night,
a hostile
everybody.
takeover
Well-
situation? Are my stocks going to be safe? Will my Dogecoin still have value?
Well, here's the thing,
Fuck
Chris. If you
Gabby.
if you ever
maybe take. I got rid of my. So,
look
go ahead.
at Outworld, it looks like fucking Mad Max. So I'm going to assume
Yeah,
it's not
Outworld's
great.
really fucking lame in this movie. I gotta say it. I just gotta say it.
Even
like
in the
it is.
comics, Outworld's just kind of shitty and
In
gross.
MKX, it's pretty cool.
And MK,
Yeah, they
well,
only
that's
have one
under Total
Dunkin'
Con.
Donuts. It's in a really bad location.
but like, so I think one of my issues with this movie is there's a lot of sand.
And it's rough and coarse and
Anakin
gets
would hate
everywhere.
it.
It's just a lot of the movie is sand and rocks.
They should have called it Sand World, huh?
No, they shouldn't have. Please.
They should have called it the Attack of the Clones. Hey, what's up?
Okay.
There you go.
He
That was my
looks
prequel
disappointed.
joke.
Ooh.
It's fine. So we get
Bum,
introduced to
bum,
Cole Young, right? And Cole Young, as we've established, is a character they made up for the movie. And he's a struggling ex-MMA fighter who does these little fights on the side to earn some cash. And he's getting his ass kicked because he doesn't know how to defend himself in a fight, according to his trainer. Doesn't matter. He loses the fight, and then he meets up with this big, burly black man with military tags who says his name is Jax. Jax is from the games, Chris. And
I know that, Jeff.
and this is the greatest line in movie history, where Jax says, "That's a nice little logo you
Get
got
over
there,
here?
dragon." No.
I thought we were there.
That's not until the
At
end
least
of
I'm
it.
not wearing hockey pads, is what he was about to say. It was at least I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I'm not wearing hockey.
pads.
What's the difference between you and me? I actually take care of myself. I'm not just some fat turd in hockey pads. Anyway, this is not The Dark Knight. This is the greatest movie ever made. This is Mortal Kombat 2021. Close parentheses. So Jax asked him about the dragon mark, and it's a birthmark that he's had his whole life.
You never opened parentheses. I'm very confused of what the closed parentheses mean.
And now Sub-Zero shows up. Sub-Zero is there, and he's attacking Cole and his family.
I'm just saying it's very hard to read.
Jax shows up to save the day in an SUV.
Yo, okay, so he shows up, and now he can just like take all the moisture that's out there and just like slam it down. And what did you think of this use of his powers?
Dude, that was so fucking cool.
Mhm.
He makes it snow in like around this like block.
That was cool, right?
And then he picks the snow up from the ground, hardens it into ice, and just like hurls it at the civilians. And a couple of them die. And but
this
not Cole's
reminded me
family.
weirdly of like Gremlins. Like I don't know, this felt like I almost no, just kind of like
No,
the
fucking
type
legit.
of kind of absurd, kind of weird but realistic power usage. I don't know. It was just odd. Like like the whole idea of like an Iceman or any ice-based power kind of thing is like you could only use the moisture that was in the air to freeze. Like that's
Frozen.
the limit. Right, like it's but even Frozen, like the whole like the whole Iceman kind of like snow drifts that he rides like seems like so unfeasible, like with the amount of moisture that's in the air, and that's why this seems much more realistic, where he's just like it takes a while to kind of do, and you have like it seems way more there, but like a total like okay, yeah, you could like slam that shit down, and that would be a problem if you're shaping it and doing it. I just thought it was neat, and I thought that they kept him realistically powerful enough, yet at the same time, like also it made sense that he still fought. Like it didn't like I maybe a little bit. I feel like he could like be grabbing a guy and just holding on and freezing him at the same time, but maybe that's a little. I don't want to think it's so easy to just use your freezing power. I don't know
Exactly.
how it's like to do it. But then I thought they
I'll-
made it a good. But that's what I'm saying is like they made it look like he had to concentrate to some degree to really make it happen. So
Yeah,
it's
it
fine if
doesn't.
in the middle of a fight he's not just like also freezing people like you kind of imagine that somebody could do.
But you calling it Gremlins, really? I've been thinking about it like basically since I saw it.
Since you saw
I was-
Gremlins?
Yeah, since I saw Gremlins, I was thinking about this movie. But
Interesting.
this is. I feel like this movie's a lot better. If you're not going to do a Mortal Kombat, which spoiler alert, they don't do a Mortal Kombat.
No.
No.
The
Yeah.
tournament doesn't happen.
There is no tournament.
But-
It's just people fighting.
but-
I don't
Still
mind
fine
that
with.
really. I don't mind that really.
But if you're-
Because you know,
if
Okay,
you're
go
not
ahead.
if you're not gonna do that, I would be very interested if you cut out all the rocks and the sand and just made it Shang Tsung is cheating. He wants to kill all the Earthrealmers. He's just coming to their houses, and now it's just like a random town getting fucked up by like Goro. Like
That
that's
sounds
kind
expensive.
of what I would. Well, yeah.
That sounds very expensive from a
Yeah.
production
Like Goro's just
standpoint.
trampling through the
like-
seas, just
Oh,
punching
that
four
sounds like a
people
lot
at
of
time.
extras. Yeah, they'd have to pay for a lot more extras than they were willing to pay for.
And also,
There are
like,
not a
all the
lot of
Everybody
people-
knows if you get killed in Mortal Kombat movie, you get paid more.
You die in real life.
I was gonna say you beat me by a second. I was like, if you get killed, you die in real life. That's
every
a
actor,
great
every actor that died on screen, they're dead now. They're not gonna appear again.
Everybody knows if you die in a Mortal Kombat movie, you die in real life. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is. It just is. Oh wow, that's funny.
I mean, if you appear in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, your career's probably dead.
That's correct.
Your career dies in real life.
Why do you think they recast a bunch of people?
Jesus H. Christ.
They didn't want to ruin Christopher Lambert.
We've
That's
got no
funny.
chill, unlike Sub-Zero.
Who's got all of the chill as he's
Wow.
throwing chunks of ice at these people.
unlike Sub-Zero, he has no chill.
Don't bring Arnie into this, please. Please leave him out of
Oh,
this.
but what if Arnie did a Mortal Kombat?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Hold on.
Terminator's
It
in
would
Mortal
be
Kombat.
cool as
Who-
ice.
Who would Arnold be in Mortal Kombat, excluding the Terminator DLC?
Yeah, who is in Mortal Kombat? Yes, he's in Mortal
Who
Kombat.
would he be?
He would have to be Shao Kahn, right?
He could be a Shao Kahn.
No, the guy he played in Last Action Hero.
No, he's Kindergarten Cop.
Actually, no. I want the bad guy. I want the bad guy from the bad
Is
guy
it your line?
movie.
It's not the
from
tumor.
Last Action Hero.
Predator's an
He's
MKX.
like, he has like
he could fight the Predator.
he has
again.
like a sickle. I think he's like. Is it Matt Frewer? I don't know.
Communism? The embodiment of communism?
Yes,
Okay.
that was it. Arnold Schwarzenegger character for this. I don't know. Who's iconic? I mean the Predator
big?
version. The Predator.
Yeah, Predator.
The what's his? I don't know. He's just Arnie. He's just Arnold
Is he
Schwarzenegger.
Duke? I think
No,
his
I
name is-
want twins. I want twins, Arnie.
It's like, oh, there's a character in MKX.
Don't
Ferritor.
talk back.
That, yeah, Ferritor. Oh my God,
his
Ferritor.
name.
Don't talk
Oh my
back.
God.
So D, in Mortal Kombat X, they introduced a character named
Oh.
Ferritor, who's this big hulking beast.
It's Master Blaster.
Who's got he's got like a little girl on his shoulders, and that would be Arnie with Danny DeVito on his shoulders.
It's Master Blaster,
Oh
but instead
my
of Master,
God.
it's
Danny
Terra Strong.
DeVito would be the strongest character in Mortal Kombat.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Anyway, I started blasting. he
His
just shoots them.
His variations would be the Blaster, the Trash Man, and Twins.
And he's got a skin that makes him look like the Lorax.
And then he just rips through your body and births himself through your canal, through your ass canal or something. Anyway, he's a national treasure. Back to Mortal Kombat, the gross show that we are clearly living up to.
The gross movie.
Here's
So
it.
we, Cole and Jax, Jax picks Cole up in this SUV, him and his family, and they're running away from Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero corners them in an alley. And Jax has the bright idea to get out with a gun and fight Sub-Zero, and he tells Cole to get his family out of here and then go see Sonya Blade in Gary, Indiana.
Did
The
you?
fuck is-
It's the
When-
first
when
time Gary,
Jax-
Indiana has been mentioned in any piece of cinema ever.
It's gotta be, right? Gary,
No,
Indiana is such a
I feel
fucking...
like I feel like Gary Indiana is a commonly used random town.
Yeah, if they're trying to name a random town in the middle of nowhere, people usually go with
Like where are you gonna go to? It was like saying like Albuquerque.
until Albuquerque became cool
Yeah.
and trendy.
Wear sunglasses all the time?
No,
Popularized
I lost
by
thinking a
Weird
wrong
Al
train there,
Yankovic.
though.
I lost my very expensive sunglasses at that punk show, and I'm very
did
mad
you?
about it.
Did Goro break your $400 sunglasses?
No,
Fuck.
while John
Did
was
John
getting
steal
laid,
your
I lost my
sunglasses
sunglasses.
to fuck that girl?
No. Anyway, so Jax now goes into a fight scene with Sub-Zero, where Sub-Zero
Did
is
you catch the ice ball?
ice ball.
The combination for the ice ball that's written in graffiti behind
Was
it.
it in his Was it in his pouch?
Oh no, there's an Easter egg. It's graffiti on the wall in the alley, and it's the arrows and button inputs that you would use to make the ice ball happen in Mortal Kombat as Sub-Zero.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they have a
dig
lot
it.
of little Easter eggs like that. For like,
Does he shoot an ice ball like that, like the one he would freeze you with?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
He does. Does he freeze someone with it?
I don't think
He doesn't
just kinda
freeze them.
hits
It's just a
them.
I
projectile.
don't. Yeah, it hits it. That's stupid. I was like, no, I want the one that freezes.
I would like to see when somebody's in mid jump, when in the game you hit them with the ice ball and they just freeze in like mid somersault,
Yeah, that's always fun.
but then they just sit there instead
in
of
the
falling
air.
to the ground.
In
Yeah.
the air. You're right. That's good.
But there also an Easter egg when Jax was talking to Cole
Yeah.
earlier on, where he says you beat Eddie Tobias earlier, and Tobias is the name of one of the guys who created
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
it was Ed Boon and John Tobias were the two creators.
Oh,
of
I
the game.
thought it was a reference to that show.
No, it was
It is a reference to that.
Arrested
yes.
Development. Arrested Development.
No, it was a reference to Ed Boon and
Tobias
John
Finke.
Tobias that invented Mortal Kombat.
Tobias Funke. He's a never nude.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
David Cross in Arrested Development.
I know who David Cross is.
I know David Cross.
He's a never nude.
A bit of Bob and David. It's a great sketch comedy show. Bob
You never
and-
heard of you
Alvin
didn't
and the
watch Arrested Development?
Chipmunks.
You're wrong. You're wrong to have not watched Arrested Development.
I was
Like-
gonna watch it, or no, not. I was
Like,
thinking of.
I won't explain
The
any
other
other
one.
way. You're just wrong to not have watched.
I know. I haven't really seen
Arrest-
Community, Parks and Rec, or
It's
Arrested
fairly
Development, and
incompetent
they're all
of
on my
you.
list. Anyway, back to Jax, because this is a great fight scene. Jax is fighting Sub-Zero, and obviously,
okay.
Jax is clearly outmatched, and Sub-Zero is just kicking his ass handily. And I gotta say, every fight scene in this movie is fucking incredible. They're all really well done and well
They
executed.
feel really short to me.
Some of them do, but the movie seemed to like fly by. It was like an hour and a half
Yeah.
runtime.
Yeah,
and
this
it went by
movie.
fast.
This movie really runs off the philosophy of like, hey, we made a Mortal Kombat movie. We really don't want to waste your time. Here's some.
Here's
fights.
exactly what you want to see.
We're gonna get out
Yeah.
of here. And then there's like some
Yeah.
scenes where you're like, I could
We
use
give
an
Jax a
explanation.
gun, but don't worry, that'll be gone in just a second.
Yeah,
you can't
Sub-Zero
bring a gun
grabs
to
the
a Mortal
gun.
Kombat fight because it's gone.
They walk
gone.
out like, we're sorry. We're sorry.
I'm sorry. Back the train up about 20 seconds. Chris, what did you just say?
You don't bring a gun to a Mortal Kombat fight.
May I introduce you to Stryker in Mortal Kombat 9, a police officer whose
Are you
primary
sharing-
weapon is a handgun.
Screen? You should
No.
Share the screen. Show
No.
us.
I can't do that on my
You didn't
phone.
even share,
Hey,
like,
okay,
share
wait,
screen,
here,
ass.
wait. D, I need you to close your eyes and enter your mind palace for a second.
Mhm.
What I need you to do, I'm gonna screen share, but into your brain. Imagine a cop.
Is this an asexual thing?
No.
It's a
It's a
power
Mortal
that
Kombat
only
thing.
asexuals
It's
have.
imagine just a cop, any cop.
That's Stryker.
You've seen Stryker.
Any
That's what-
American
that's what
cop with
Stryker
like
looks
no
like.
trigger discipline.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
Stryker
so-
looks like.
So he's hitting a black guy?
If
he
he's
does
fighting Jax, he
in-
is.
You said imagine
In-
any cop.
in Mortal Kombat 9, when he enters the battlefield, he does say police brutality coming up, which I'm pretty sure would not fly today.
Yeah, that's probably bad.
They probably would not do that now.
That's crazy. That's crazy sauce.
Yeah, it is crazy. He's literally just a fucking cop.
His claim to fame was he was an MK3 and people liked MK3.
Yes, he was an MK3.
Yeah, he's
Jesus Christ.
real old.
Yeah, he's an OG.
Oh my god,
He's
it's
very attractive.
Anywho,
He's very attractive.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I agree with this guy.
MK3 Striker does not look like a cop. He looks like a dude who just
He
like
looks like
he looks like a dude who went
like-
to the skate ring, but he's
Wait, which
too
one's
old.
MK3?
The one where he has the backwards hat.
Mortal Kombat
For
3.
people listening to this audio-only podcast, Jeff is showing pictures now of
Oof.
Striker.
No, Chris is. Don't pull me.
Oh,
on
I
no,
that.
am.
this isn't me.
I thought
This
I
is
was.
not me.
This is
Oh
me.
my-
Oh my God, the computer, it's self-aware.
Oh, jeez.
Skype is taking over.
Anyway, so Jax is fighting with Sub-Zero, and this is where it's a big plot point in Mortal Kombat that Jax loses his arms and gets cybernetic ones, and that's where most of his power comes from as a combatant. And Sub-Zero is the one who gets the opportunity to do it in this universe, where he freezes Jax's arms and rips them off, and then just like kicks him off of like a
Hey
ledge.
Jeff, pop quiz question. How many variants of Jax losing his arm can you name?
Well, there's this one
Yeah.
from Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
There's the one in MK9. Who does it there? Is it Shang? No, is it Ermac?
It is Ermac, yeah.
Ermac kills his arms in MK9.
He kills his arms. His arms had life
His
and now
arm-
no longer.
His arms is a character.
And then I think
They were his
Each
brothers.
had a separate paycheck.
in the original Mortal Kombat universe, doesn't
think it's
Goro rip them
Goro.
off?
So in Scorpion's Revenge, it's Goro.
Scorpion's Revenge. Goro rips them off.
There was a comic book that came out with the first couple games because they didn't really have like a story.
Wait a minute.
Story mode.
In
And
the
that was
original,
Baraka.
in Annihilation, isn't it not at all? He just got enhancements.
Well, yeah. In Annihilation, he wears
what?
really big metal
He just
sleeves.
buys.
Really?
I'm sorry.
and then he
Really?
and then
What?
to beat
Would it be
Mutara-
awesome if you got those ripped off and then he got the?
But then he has to fight Mutaro, who's like the boss of like, or is like one of the minor boss of MK3.
And he doesn't
And
use them, right?
He takes them off and beats them through the power of friendship. And I've always said that scene would be much better if it just cut to his friends going ooh oh, and blood spurting out. And he's just like he should have probably kept on the metal arms. The metal arms would have helped him win the fight.
Did he actually win through friendship?
Yeah,
They did a friendship?
He like looked over at all of his friends and then he took off the sleeves and he beat him because he's strong. Heart in the heart.
No, he beat it with his fists.
Yeah, he just punched him.
We are
He
so
didn't-
early into
He's
this.
a large-
it's like
he's a
an,
large
it's like
Minotaur
an
man.
it's like an anti-drug thing where he's like, I don't need the extra help.
Right,
I'll do it myself.
The arms were actually
Turns
placebo
out Mortal
effect.
Kombat all this time has just been one overly drawn out drug PSA. Don't do drugs, kids.
Sure. So
Do your
back to
own
the
kung
plot.
fu.
Back to the plot. After Jax gets his ass fucking kicked.
He said about the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, I know, right? Cole drops his family off and then goes to meet Sonya, and she shows him all of this work that she and Jax were doing about what Mortal Kombat is, because they were trying to arrest some guy in Brazil, and Jax killed him, and he had the dragon mark, and it transferred to Jax, and that made them go like,
My favorite
oh,
part was when they explained what a birthmark was.
Yes,
Yes.
that was. That
Well,
was,
I didn't know.
That's what I was referring to when I said the greatest line of cinema history. But
A birthmark. He's had it since he was born.
Yeah, duh. That's what a fucking birthmark is, you stupid girl. Because she was a little girl, not because she was just a dumb because she is a girl. I just feel like I needed to backtrack there for a second.
Does the guy say like a birthmark and then like what? Like
No,
what?
so she
Is he- what
says
does he
he's
say?
had it his whole life, and
So-
Jax is like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "It's a birthmark."
So in the trailer, it's a birthmark. What do you mean he was born with it? And in the movie,
As
it
three
was-
separate lines.
it was flipped. It was the two lines were now the other way.
Yeah, so then it
and-
went.
So
He's
they
had it his
flipped
whole
so they
life.
flipped it for the trailer, and in the trailer they said it's a.
It's a
Say
birthmark.
what they said.
It said. In
What
the
do you
trailer, it's-
mean?
Yeah, it's what do you mean he was born with it? In
That's so
it's-
dumb.
In this, it's he was born with it.
No, I
want
want to know what it is.
It's a
I want to know the
birthmark.
dumb way. I want to know the dumb way. It's
The-
a birthmark. What do you mean
Uh-huh.
he was born with it? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
That was the trailer. And
Oh
Jeff
my god, I
pointed
have
out,
to see this movie.
Jeff pointed out that
The-
there's a possibility that people on Twitter and stuff like that were making fun of it so much that they may have just edited it the other way before it came out.
yes, because the scenes are shot in such a way that if you were to just cut the one and flip it with the other, it really doesn't matter. Because after she says her lines and Jack says his lines, it cuts back and forth. They're not on screen together.
And there was some editing. They changed Scorpion's "Get Over Here." He has a different "Get Over Here" in the trailer.
Yes,
Right.
in the trailer is different. Get over here,
It's-
but in the movie it sounds
it
much
is
more to the
slightly
original
better.
one.
Yeah, this one's better.
This one is better, and the get over here that
I
is
can say the
been-
female distinctly liked it. Like she came in right at the end, and she was just like, just at the final battle,
Yeah,
which is good enough.
Yeah,
and,
the final
and,
battle's
and,
pretty good.
and she's like, this is good, this is great. And then like the moment where, which by the way, Scorpion just comes out of no fucking where. I hope they do a Lord of the Rings style. Here's what happened to Gandalf at the beginning of the sequel, because like how the fuck what? Okay, you pop out of nowhere, but like when he jumps out at the end, she's just like, is he gonna say it? I'm like, yeah, he's gonna fucking say it. Like,
There's a lot of people.
And then he said it, and she was like, yeah, she fucking cheered. Like,
There's a lot of
it was all
people
about it.
There's a lot of people who have been making jokes about like he speaks Japanese the entire movie. Why does he have this one line that's English? And I go, well, because there'd be riots in the streets if Scorpion didn't say "get over here" in a Mortal Kombat movie. Are you fucking insane?
Like,
Yeah, why would he speak
challenge
English?
the director of Mortal Kombat itself if he didn't do it.
Like, come on, he just came from hell. Like, he's
Yeah.
been alive or dead or whatever.
There's a lot
for,
of
like, thousands
Americans in
years.
hell.
You think they don't have Duolingo down in hell?
Jesus
That
Christ.
fucking owl.
Anyway.
If he's
asshole.
been around, he's picked up the He picked up the language. All right, like he's.
Back to
I
Sonya
don't get
in
why
her
this is
basement.
hard.
It's okay.
Right.
So Sonya is in the basement.
Why does
with,
Sonya, the actress who plays Sonya Blade, always seem like someone I've seen somewhere else?
Because she is, I think she's been in a lot of things that I'm not sure of off the top of my head, but when I saw her, I was like, oh yeah, she's
See?
from that thing. So I have the same reaction as D. But she shows Cole all of the research that she's done into the Mortal Kombat, and that it is this battle between realms, and she shows pictures of like previous combatants, and they are all Easter eggs to other characters in the game. We see Nightwolf, we see Kotal Khan.
My dude,
Both
both of them.
I
Both
like
of them.
Nightwolf.
You main both of those characters.
My-
Is
in
my-
Nightwolf the
I was-
American Indian?
Yes.
Yeah, he's cool.
Nightwolf. Troy went to 2 Mortal Kombat
Is-
tournaments. Did you know
Is that is that
Um,
your? Did you ever go? Did you ever play in a tournament for Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, and I used Nightwolf. I
No.
practiced.
I watched
Shit.
one of those streams. Troy got
so did I.
trounced.
I did. It was real bad. I did brutality a man on stream. That was
I
nice.
saw that. I saw
The,
that.
the first round was fine.
Was that like the opposite of sex for you?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, just pretty
And
good.
then the next
So
two were the
virtually
opposite.
brutality, you
The
mean?
next 2 games were the opposite of that.
Ooh.
The next 2 games I
sex.
got beat up real bad.
So-
but also here's a short aside. For that tournament, I had like 2 weeks to prepare, and I just decided on a whim that I was going to play Nightwolf, someone I had no games in MK11, and I played in the span of 14 days, 420 matches, and yes, I stopped because it was the weed number. I had more time.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm glad that you
I-
had your priorities.
You
in
clearly
place.
had more time if you did 420 matches in
Uh-huh.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is
Jesus
doing
Christ.
stupid stuff like that the opposite of sex? Is that what it
Yep,
is?
that is
Is
100%.
that what it is? Is it like I'm gonna stop there? I don't even smoke weed, but I'm gonna
420,
stop. 'cause it's a
blaze it,
number.
boys.
Troy does it for the meme.
Yes.
And the lols.
Do it for the gram.
And then a guy playing Cabal beat my ass because I keep both times I was beaten by a Cabal.
No one cares, Troy.
I
It's
was
okay.
kicked out by Cabal
We
twice.
can
Just
analyze
like
your
Trump,
shitty
just like
Mortal
Trump.
Kombat plays
He was
later.
beat up by Cabal.
A cabal.
A cabal.
So that's a really nice joke, actually. Good job, D.
I know.
I just thought that you meant like a man in a metal mask ran up real fast on the podium and fought Trump in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
I know you did.
So
It works
Honestly,
on both levels.
If they had like a play of Mortal Kombat with Trump fighting anybody from that universe, he probably would have gotten more votes.
Let's be honest and serious. Trump would make a phenomenal Mortal Kombat character, and they should never do it.
what's
Where the
his-
fuck is this podcast gone?
I don't even know anymore, man.
Where are we?
Well, don't worry, we're making perfect time. We're already like 15 minutes into this movie.
Yeah, and we're 48 minutes into this podcast.
And
Yeah.
by that I mean
Let's get back on track, boys.
Let's attempt to get this back on track.
Okay, we really
All
gotta
right.
tear this
Where the
up.
fuck were we?
We were in the basement, and then we meet Kano. Troy, tell us about Kano.
Oh my God, we've just met Kano. Ah, okay,
I
Yep.
know, right?
no more interrupting.
Yeah, D.
I mean, to be fair, though, Troy had a really good point in that the plot is kind of loosely there. This movie is really just a big excuse to have a lot of fights, and to be honest, that's all anyone wants from a Mortal Kombat movie, and they delivered on that. This movie's not going to win any awards, but it's certainly like a great Mortal Kombat movie.
I don't know. I feel like this movie comes down a lot to expectations.
What were your expectations?
I feel like I was expecting a little bit more. I feel like I was more.
Yeah. Can we do with? I don't know. We're gonna take forever
Go
to
for
get
it.
this movie.
Don't worry about it. This movie can be glossed over quickly. I want to hear what Troy has to say.
I was gonna say
ahead.
that I was kind of excited for the characters. Some cool like interpretations of the stages, which are not in this game. There's one.
The Pit.
That's the one.
And that's all you need.
I needed a lot more. Like I said, Outworld looks lame.
Who cares? Outworld is lame.
I care. It was very much what I was looking for the Pit. I wanted the island is really what it was.
Okay.
If they were gonna do the city thing, I could have done with like the subway. I could have done with somebody getting killed by a train. That would have been nice.
They gotta save something for the sequels, man.
Yeah, I understand that.
Also, this wasn't a very high budget movie.
Yeah,
I didn't expect to see anything even close to some of those stages.
I'm excited, honestly, for them to potentially like do a Fast and Furious, like for some of these franchises, just go ahead and try to just Fast and Furious it, where you just keep going, People know what it is. Just keep going. Let it build its following. Have maybe eventually somebody picks it up. And like the Rock joins, and now it's fun.
Who do you think Vin
Vin
Diesel would be in Mortal Kombat?
I think he's got to be that guy that you said. Vin Diesel's the underworld guy.
Oh, Shao Kahn?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Scorpions, dude. Scorpions.
you're talking
master.
about Quan Chi.
Quan Chi. The wizard man.
Him. That makes sense.
But this is probably the biggest gap between me not really, I don't want to say not liking it, but not being super into a movie and being incredibly excited for a sequel. It's like a weird thing where I'm like I will absolutely watch the sequel of this. It wasn't that great.
I like their explanation for their powers or whatever. Like I'm like fine, cool.
The Arcana
right,
and the dragon logo, it does make sense the way they built it.
And it's a nice little mythology that they have to like pass it on to new people and like do this. Like it's I'm like, no, that makes perfect sense.
How often Mortal Kombat characters die? They can go through their entire roster, and they have a plausible way of doing it.
I just feel like I wanted more camp, is what it was.
You're gonna get it though. Like
That's true.
That's why they're like, we'll hold it back. Like,
I mean, that's what Johnny Cage is.
No, you're right.
He's just the camp machine. By the way, this is where I just want to talk about like the whole movie as a whole. I don't know if it's worth it to go scene by scene.
It's really not.
It's just Kano's great though. He is a lot of fun.
Kano's my favorite part of the
movie.
movie.
My favorite. Yes.
He's the best part of the movie. I hope they bring him back. They got to bring him back.
He died.
I heard he came across like an artifact at some point that is like supposedly
he had
like, really
Shinnok's
relevant,
amulet.
and so that I've heard that could canonically like bring him back.
So canonically, the
somehow,
amulet he picked up belonged
had it
to
on
the
him.
elder god Shinnok, and it's possible it has some resurrection powers to it. But Liu Kang saw him take it and told him to put it back. I assumed the whole put what back was just kind of a joke, and that Liu Kang would actually take it back.
Yeah, but they can just retcon that.
They could, and honestly,
They should. This is the best use of his laser eye that I've ever.
Yes, and the thing about Mortal Kombat is when people die, they go to the Nether Realm or Hell, and from there they can be resurrected or whatever. Hence, like Scorpion.
Nether Realm.
So, oh Jesus Christ, that's weird. But like they can come back. It happens all the time in the games. People go down to Nether Realm. They find the person who's dead.
People
and they
come
just bring
back
them
from
back.
the Nether Realm.
Yes.
People come back from dead. Like
almost every character.
Video game characters can come back. Like they have multiple lives.
I get it.
Video
You're
game characters.
asshole. You're just being a dick. I get it now.
Yeah, but then they have to restart from their last checkpoint.
I want to say that in canon, Luke
Has literature ever had a story where someone goes to the Netherworld and brings someone back?
No, I don't think.
Has that
so.
ever happened in like?
I think that Mortal Kombat's treading.
I think you've got that $1 million novel idea though, D. You should write that. That should be your thing.
I got it.
But you may be
start taking notes.
by Mortal Kombat.
I got it.
But
I'm thinking like
I think
like
that
a river, Maybe it's like made of sticks or something.
Okay.
That sounds pretty
Okay.
dumb.
I'll call
Okay.
it.
That
I'll
sounds
call
pretty
it the
dumb, I
river
gotta be
sticks.
honest.
I'll call it the river sticks.
Oh, boy.
I really don't think that's gonna pick up, dude. I don't
Sticks
want
like that
I got
band,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Roboto.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They were
they're
really
just playing
gothic.
alongside the river.
Jesus, now I get it.
Near the van.
Yeah. So, the basically they find Raiden's temple and they train to become combatants, even though Sonya doesn't have a mark because they need to defend Earthrealm. Raiden's unimpressed with them all. They meet Liu Kang and Kung Lao, also from the games. Pretty accurate depictions of both of them.
I do
actually.
like that they all kind of get their own like special move. Like Kung Lao shows up,
And he's got the hat and the teleport, yep.
Yeah.
And he uses.
I was not expecting the teleport. I was expecting all the hat stuff. But
Yeah,
the
he
teleport
uses the
seems-
hat fatality from MKX,
Uh-huh.
where he uses it as a saw
at
blade
least
and just
some
runs them
version
through
of
it.
Yeah.
It's
Does
it's
that
so
is
cool.
he a fan favorite character? I
Not
feel like he's kind of
particularly.
cheesy.
He is liked.
He's like
Because I love the idea that the idea that they make because he's obviously kind of cheesy. Like I feel like he was like a second. They were like, oh, you like how
Kano said
Raiden
of
looks.
himself,
What if
wow,
we
your
gave him a
power's
saw?
frisbee hat?
And exactly. Okay, so that's my thought. Is that I like the idea of making him kind of badass in the first movie, as like a more established person, but that he's also the person that dies, gets soul sucked, and like, you know, it's just like okay, yeah, like level up, like leave yourself some room to level up your characters, right? Like start with this guy Kun Lan as like kind of because he is kind of like they you know. Kano makes fun of him, and he's like, "Yeah, this little like." And I think everybody's thinking the same thing as you watch it. But then he kind of, you know, has his flawless victory and his. Does he have a
Pass me an
fatality?
egg roll.
Does he? He keeps saying his
I
moves.
fucking
though.
hate that they call it out. I hate that Kung Lao was like flawless victory, or that later
I
on
loved
Liu
it.
Kang's like fatality, and I'm just like, okay.
They- I thought you
I'm
guys
kinda
went more
for
camp.
it.
I get it.
I'm for it. I want more camp. I'm all about the camp. I feel like there wasn't enough of it, and like you said, there will be more.
Yeah.
I want a flawless victory. I want someone to say flawless victory
like the
after
characters,
they're
the
like
camp has
barely
room to
alive and
level up.
cut to shreds.
I'm
I
waiting for-
want Johnny Cage to be like coughing up blood, like flawless victory. Like just like
I'm looking.
that's what I want.
I would like for one person to find a way to squeeze an animality in there. Return to an animal and kill somebody.
I mean, they had Liu Kang's animality in there, even though it wasn't Liu Kang specifically, where the fire dragon just come down. and
What if-
chomp
Liu
him.
Kang
if-
doesn't
what
turn
if-
into a dragon?
What if he's a furry and does it
I have
like
to look this up.
metaphorically
Go
work?
on.
So, what Troy's referencing in the games is that there are the fatalities where you brutally murder the guy after you're done the fight, and then there's also brutalities, which are even worse than that, and then there's also
Really?
yes,
Why?
like there's a brutality that
It
Johnny.
was just like little jokes that they had.
it was just
See,
super
because
duper
it's Mortal
over the top.
Kombat.
What do
Yeah,
they
it's-
do? What? How is it literally? How do you make it worse?
It's
Like,
not like so.
Every fatality is horrible. Like you're just like no, but we won't hold back this time. Like what the fuck are you talking about? They make it worse.
They do though, dude. And there's one. where,
How?
like, Johnny-
Explain. Give me an example.
I'm trying to. You keep interrupting. There's one where
Like
Johnny,
usual.
There's one where Johnny Cage grabs the opponent by the back of their head and smashes it into the ground over and over and over until their face sticks to it, and he pulls them up and like an eyeball's dangling, their skin is on the ground, and then he does it some more and just leaves them for dead. There's one with fucking what is it, Scorpion, where he like uses the spear to get in someone's head and he just like rips it off. Or, that might
So
be
it lasts
fatality.
longer.
No, brutalities are shorter than fatalities.
Brutalities are you're doing a fatality before it hits the finish him screen. It's like the continuation of the last move you've hit them with.
Right.
So basically,
It's like harder.
It's very
execution.
sudden. It's very bloody.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
It's more of like the shock of like oh wow like there was no build up to that. It was just suddenly.
Oh,
his
all
head
of a sudden
was off.
the game is over. I am dead.
It was like you Wolverine wild out, like
Yeah.
Berserker raged you out of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
okay.
Jeff, I was wrong. His original animality was a dragon. Some of the other ones I was thinking of where Shiva
No one cares.
Shiva was a scorpion. not Scorpion. Scorpion did not turn into a scorpion.
That's what I
What
thought
did
you were
Scorpion
thinking.
turn into?
That's a good question.
Butterfly.
Also,
I
reptile.
would love if he turned into like fucking Mothra or something.
Reptile turned into a chimpanzee.
You put your emphasis on the wrong syllable, and I hate you. But literally, Troy, you're looking at something no one gives a shit about. Stop it. No one cares. But fucking, they have a bunch of like.
You mean a
alities
chimpanzee?
in the game. Yeah, they have,
Chimpanzee.
they have a bunch of alities in the game where like different things
You
happen.
got
They
him
have,
with
like,
Chippendales.
they have like babe-alities where everyone turns into babies. They have animalities where they turn into animals.
That's not what I thought a babality was.
I know.
I thought they just grew tits,
Scorpion.
which I thought was great.
Scorpion
I wouldn't
turned
put
in-
it past him.
No one cares. Troy.
Scorpion turned
There's
into
the
a
friendship
penguin.
finishers.
No one cares. Anyway,
I want the clonality where they just like clone them and then kill you, and then like you also are dying with the thought that like someone else, some clone, is living out the rest of your life.
So there.
I
Jesus Christ.
I want the Black Mirror ending.
Next scene.
They're at the temple. They're training. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are putting both Kano and Cole just through the ringer, trying to beat them up to unlock their arcana inside and get their like power. Kano eventually does it when he flips out at the dinner table, screaming at Kung Lao, and he gets his laser eye coming in, and he's all thrilled about that. And Cole doesn't get his, no matter how much training happens. So Raiden, disappointed, just sends him home. Just says, go be with your family if that's what you want. Sonya tries to stop him, and it doesn't work. And Cole just leaves. Meanwhile, at the temple, Jax is there, recovering from his injuries. And they give him these,
Got
like,
little baby arms.
scrawny little skeletal mechanical arms that aren't super duper helpful. And they're pretty slow and terrible. But he's certainly trying to get a new lease on life after a little pep talk from Sonya. Cole goes home, he's with his family, everything's peachy keen until Shang Tsung shows up, and he tries to invade the temple. Raiden stops him, and then Cabal shows up. Cabal shows up, who is a super fast guy who's got these like hook
Cable
blades.
from Deadpool.
Yes,
That's it.
it's Cable.
Josh Brolin shows up.
Okay. Yeah.
Cabal and Kano have a history. Kano fucked over Cabal, and now Cabal wears this like Darth Vader suit to keep him alive. And Cabal convinces Kano to flip sides. And Kano takes down the shield Raiden put up, and now the bad guys are invading, and they're fighting, and everything's going to shit.
So I have one complaint here.
Go for it.
At the very end, or not the very end, but when they're all planning later on in the movie, and they go, so Raiden, you can teleport anybody anywhere? And he says, yeah. I immediately then went, why wouldn't you just teleport the bad guys out of the temple until the tournament starts? Just every time they get close.
Well, because they're just going to teleport back.
Yeah, but he's a god. He can just keep doing it.
Why
I
doesn't
wouldn't
he
want
But
just
he's
teleport
not
back
fast
into
enough.
the
I mean, what do
sun?
you think? He's like fast as
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I knew exactly where you're going with that. I'm sure there's an actual reason for it. Like, it might take time. You can't just do it repeatedly. I don't fucking know. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just keep going back to my point. They can teleport back. Who cares?
Yeah, but then he can keep teleporting them back.
He
That's
doesn't
just
want
a
to be
stupid
bothered with that,
fucking
man.
Game of chicken, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what the thing logically devolves into.
That's
if you keep
what
following
he's
that
been
thread.
doing for the last 100 years, and he's like, no, listen, we're just fucking fight. Just fight. Fight with your
Fine, we'll do a
birthmarks.
Mortal Kombat here, I guess. Whatever.
I'll
Who
make
fucking
you born
cares?
with him this time.
Yeah. In the big fight, in the big fight, with Melina joining in with Cabal to help Shang Tsung, which another
Alfred
great-
Molina?
Yeah,
No,
he's
but
there.
Melina's another great
Dr.
fucking-
Octopus?
Yeah,
Melina is another
he'd be
great.
a good Mortal Kombat character.
He would.
Too bad
I
that's
like
not
it.
going to happen because Warner Brothers owns Mortal Kombat and DC.
No, let's find out. Well,
Well,
we'll
there's
see.
a whole bunch of rumors right now.
Oh
that,
yeah, well, what if
that
an
Netherrealm might
invincible
make a
version
Marvel
of
game.
Doctor? What if the
heard about
invincible
this?
version? Yeah,
No, but that's not
Never heard
appropriate
about
for this podcast at the moment.
Okay, well,
So we'll talk about it later. Nice burp, whoever that was. This is great podcasting, gentlemen.
Way to go, Chris.
Oh, fuck off.
Fucking so Kung Lao kills Nitara, Melina fights Sonya and kicks her ass a bit, and Jax is getting his ass kicked because his fucking arms are falling apart.
So, and aside about the Natara thing,
baby man arms.
The Natara kill is cool, like really cool.
Yes.
The thing is, this was my return to the movie theater after being a few weeks off of vaccination. And
vaccine from what? What happened? Did you also need a tetanus
It was a
booster
tetanus
like
shot.
Chris?
Yes, it was the tetanus.
Which pandemic are you talking about?
It was the tetanus. It was all the metal that
The big one.
is
The big
flying
one.
through the
Okay,
air right
I
now.
remember.
Yeah, but when this kill happened, the crowd literally started cheering as if it was Endgame, and I just looked around and I thought to myself, "Wow, people must have really missed this." Because this is not as good as Endgame. It was literally like my entire thought. I was like, this is more cheering than this movie
Here's
deserves.
the thing. This movie is not as good as Endgame, okay? I'll give you that. Even though I haven't seen Endgame, I'll take your word for it.
Sure.
But I will say, this movie... I know. Shut up. We've been over this.
Let's go over it another time. Jeff,
No.
why haven't you watched any Marvel property after
No, but
Thor
just
2.
back up and say like the whole thing of like saying like, listen, this is better. Like Endgame's better than this. Like the whole premise of your transition was is so off-putting. Like, but anyway,
This movie isn't going to win any awards. I've said that. This movie
There
is
you
not
go.
better than Endgame. But this movie is an hour and a half of fan service and Easter eggs and saying, like, hey, we played the games too. Look at all this cool stuff from the games on the big screen. That's all you really want going into a Mortal Kombat
listen,
movie.
the best part of this damn movie is when Kano keeps knocking down. No, I'm sorry, Liu Kang. Right? No, whatever.
Eventually you'll get
Liu
there.
Kang keeps knocking down Kano with the leg sweep, and he's like, "Is that the only
Yes.
move you can do?" And just like this is the thing. I don't know how to what do we call this trope of TV shows that have a strong or automatic video game background? Like we saw this in Mandalorian too. We saw this in right where we saw scenes where they kind of paid homage to a a type of video game sequence,
Right.
like a trope of video games, like
think
like
that's
you're
just-
having it play out on the big screen.
I think
I'm
that's
saying
just
that, like-
kind of it. It's like an homage or an Easter egg kind of thing.
Right, but like this is becoming like it's almost
This was a good.
it's
that was
almost
a good move.
it's
That was a good
it's
move
almost
to pick.
like a mimic movement, like the like when you talk about like literary movements, or you talk about like storytelling movements, or like philosophy, like you talk like naturalist movement or modernist or postmodernist, or like stuff like you're in the like meta modernist would probably be kind of like the most recent thing, but I think we're even like moving past that to like a mimic modernist movement of
We're
just,
talking
like,
about the Mortal
these-
Kombat movie, right?
I know, but I'm saying that that's why I'm saying it's an interesting scene to have in it. But it's a Mortal Kombat movie. Of course, it's of course the type of movie that would have this. The Mandalorian had this. Like other shows have had this thing, especially if they have a video game background.
I
to
will
any
say
degree.
this: it's a good move to pick. If you ever played Mortal Kombat 1,
So I know it's the best.
You very much. They were like, if you didn't know how to play, it was you picked like, oh, I'll do the uppercut, I'll do the jump kick, or I'll do the sweep. And then
that's my
eventually
entire
you're
strategy. Don't lay it out all in the open.
and then you're like, well, then I'll interchangeably do all three. And then eventually you're like, oh, I can actually like kind of sling these things together and actually be good.
Dude, I would grab Sub-Zero, do the freeze, uppercut into leg slide, where like ice slide,
Yep.
and just repeatedly do that sequence so they can never get up. It was just you would just kill everybody. It was the cheapest thing in the world. You just hit them, I think, 3 times, and then you had to jab them, and they were dead.
Yep.
I think Sub-Zero was
Sub-Zero
kind of fucked up in the first.
It was
couple
kind of
movies.
fucked up that they let one of
Yeah.
the characters freeze the other characters in
I
midair.
went to a convention at one time, and they had Mortal Kombat 2, and in my head I was like, well, nobody can beat me at Mortal Kombat 2. It's impossible. And there's this dude, and they were like, I don't know his name, but they were like, beat John at Mortal Kombat 2 and win a free T-shirt. If you can beat John at Mortal Kombat 2, win a free T-shirt. And instantly in my mind, I went, well, this is going to be easy. I'm going to get a free T-shirt. And I got in line, and it's slowly moving forward. And I'm seeing him just random select characters. And no matter who he ended up on, he would fucking annihilate people.
I loved this John guy.
I got up there. I don't know if his name was John, but for the sakes of this story, his name is John.
Getting laid in a van down by the river.
And yes, it was him. Yeah, but
totally.
He was just random selecting and beating people's ass. And eventually, I got up, and I was a little bit more nervous than when I started off. And I picked Scorpion, and he random selects and gets Kung Lao, and he is like, we are neck and neck. It comes down to like, I win a round, he wins a round. The last round, it's one hit. I was gonna teleport off the side of the screen. In the old games, if you're too close to the edge, then you just stay where you are. And he hit me. And then he went, and he's like, well, don't worry, it's best 2 out of 3. But I'm definitely not going easy on you now. And I went, easy? And, like, I was like sweating, like there were veins popping out of my head. And he picked Sub-Zero. I think I may have hit him once. I think I stopped it from being a flawless, and that was it.
Nice. So that's the other time you got humiliated publicly by Mortal Kombat.
It was also very much like...
Did they at least give you a shirt?
No, I didn't get the shirt. But it was very much like I was beating him. Or not beating him. I was like evenly matched with him as Kung Lao. And then, but like he kept turning to me and he was like I was like, I couldn't speak. I was so like, all my muscles were tensed up playing this fucking video game. And he's like turning to me, he goes, oh, nice hit. Oh no, yeah, you know how to play. And I was like, fuck off, dude. Like, didn't say that to him because he was very nice. But in my mind, I was just like, please, just
that reminds me of the day.
Make it seem like you're trying.
That reminds me of the day I met my brother-in-law, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
He I don't know if you guys have met him, but he's like a tank. he's just like a he's like an Adonis. Man. Like he's so fucking lovable and fun. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, he's the sweetest human being
I've
ever met.
He's good at everything. He is alpha at everything. Like literally anything you do, he's better at you. He can sing, he can dance, he can act, he can laugh, he can joke, he can he can fight, he can wrestle.
I met him playing laser tag, and he was good at
that. I may have beaten him at that. That may be one of the few things.
Was there some sort of like ancient curse that was put upon, like he sacrificed part of himself to get this skill?
I don't think so. I think it's funny.
He's literally good at everything. He's even fucking good looking. He's muscular.
It's funny. It's really funny. It's super hilarious. But like, okay, so I grew up with a ping pong table in my house. Like we had a ping pong table. So like I'm not ever going to say like, hey, I'm really good at ping pong, but like I'm not a slouch. Like I did grow up with a ping pong table. Like I have played. Okay, like I'm not, and most people don't usually say that. So like obviously
you should meet Dave.
They have one too. So they have one downstairs. I haven't played in a while. I'm like, but sure, let me play it. Sure, and like we go. I am like, this is like such a similar story. I am like fighting for my life, going like end to end, like
diving for it,
like diving, like one end to the end.
You've got like the tennis going
on. At one point, you're on the ground, and you throw.
I'm on the corners, like far behind the table, like trying to barely reach the ball before it drops out of the air, and just barely tap it up. He is like kind of leaning towards the middle of the table and is playing at the middle of the table, just bink, bink, bink.
That's how it felt.
Like all of my tiny little like taps like barely make it over to the thing. Like they were impossibly hard to get that far from where they were going, and yet like they just land like in front of him where he's just like bink. At any moment he could just destroy them and win, but he's just playing them. He's just toying with me, and I'm playing him. until eventually he starts playing with the butt of the paddle.
Oh my god.
And I just dropped the paddle. I was like, all right, I get it. I was like, all right, fair enough. He just had the biggest smile on his face. He wasn't being like a dick or anything.
Where you were dead before you walked in the room.
yeah. It was so brutal. I was like, okay, this is, and that's been the dynamic ever since. No, I'm kidding. No,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Oh no. Like the next time I saw him, he literally like went to the local casino, Parks, and we're like hanging out. We go to the bar, and it's like it's early on in Parks, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I know it's not a big night. It might be like a weeknight or something like that, but literally there's a band playing, and he just like starts walking towards them, and like I'm like, what is he doing? And he's like going past like anywhere you're supposed to be, and I'm like, what is he fucking doing? And he's like talking to the, he's like, yeah. He's like, and then he like grabs the guitar and like gets on and like plays a song. Like, I shit you not. He started playing Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight.
Have you ever checked him for wires? Like, is he potentially some sort of robot cyborg man?
Oh no, he's it was just the most, he's a very human person. It's just
it's like
it was just the funniest first impressions ever.
It's like protagonist syndrome, but he's actually the protagonist.
I know.
We're all side characters and NPCs in his story. That's an incredible story. I didn't know that about him, but that makes me like admire this man so much more.
That was literally.
Wasn't there
and he wasn't even as good looking back then. That was before he started working out again.
Oh my god! Don't tell me that.
Was there some sort of?
He was like fat post college Nick at the time.
Jesus Christ!
Was there some sort of movie we were doing?
Yeah, we were doing Breakfast.
I
at
think
Tiffany's.
this is just the Nick podcast now.
I thought you dropped a soda.
Nick's
on my
World,
no.
party time, excellent.
The movie wraps up soon enough, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they fight, they trick them. His Arcana pass, the Goro fight's cool. I liked it. Get over here. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. So while Cole is at home with his family, Goro shows up. Giant four-armed beast from the games, and he starts beating Cole handily, and then Cole's wife gets involved. She fucking like lodges an axe in Goro's back, which was awesome.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
Did they just like steal the Hulk CGI and like interpose it over this?
I've heard a lot of people say the orcs from World of Warcraft.
So it does look very similar. I do know from some behind the scenes stuff that whenever Goro is standing still punching at Cole, it's actually two dudes, like one on the other guy's shoulders, and all four arms are
they should have filmed the whole
independently
thing
moving.
like that. Oh, they should have just
And
been. It should have just been two guys.
Now I want to see Goro in a trench coat. Why do I now want to see Goro in a trench coat?
Why is that not a skin for him? In
Oh,
MKX?
he's like what's his name? Like Victor Adult
He's a
Man from
flasher.
BoJack.
I think it's a Vincent Adultman.
Vincent Adult Man. Oh God.
But so while Goro's threatening Cole's family, Cole's Arcana finally reveals itself, and he gets this like golden muscle shirt on him. that
Wrapping?
acts-
Like wrapping?
Yeah, it's like a wrapping.
It's
You
like
can call
MMA,
it
like
plot
fist
armor.
wrapping.
You can call it plot armor. That's
It's torso armor.
Yeah, it's just his torso from what we can see, and he also
You
gets.
can-
Literally
you're right,
plot
you
armor.
could
It's
shoot-
literally armor that doesn't allow him to be hurt. It's
Yeah.
plot armor.
He also gets
And then
a.
shoot him
he
in
gets
the
a pair
head.
of he gets a pair of tonfas.
Yeah, he gets a pair of tonfas. One of them is the baton, the other one is
love
a blade.
that Avatar character.
And
Oh, it is
shut up.
different on each side?
Yeah, the one on his
Still
left is a
dumb.
blade, the one on his right is a baton, and he
That's
uses those
very
to.
dumb.
He uses those to fight the fuck out of Goro, slice his gut open, and just
Yeah,
chop
there's no
off
more
a
fucking him.
hand. And then he puts the baton like through his eye socket. He just like completely murders Goro. And then he goes back. The lightning shows up and he goes back because Raiden summoned him back. And now he's there with all of his Arcana. And Jack's got his Arcana from trying to save Sonya.
Jax's
and his-
Arcana was big boy arms. Arms for a big boy.
I'm sorry. This was a
You made that joke twice.
Yeah. Now
This
the
was
podcast.
a walk around the block to get to an area you could have gotten to in the first place. It didn't make a lot of sense.
Wait.
They're like, we're gonna give him robot arms, but They're just baby robot arms. Gotcha.
No, but you actually make a good
now
point.
they're-
I just had an epiphany right now. Is that he can, in the games, he can like ground pound and like send energy through the ground and like shoot energy. That could have just been it, and he also has metal arms.
Yeah, but instead they
Yeah.
made his Arcana just bigger, beefier metal arms. What would his
It's
Arcana
just-
have been before
Yeah,
he
what-
got metal
what if he
arms?
No,
didn't get metal arms?
no, like the extra step of like, well, I guess we just have these baby arms to give him. we got rid of his arms and we're gonna replace his arms. Oh, with like cool metal giant arms? No, with baby metal arms.
No.
And then we're gonna give him metal arms. Like, wait, just why? Just give him. I don't understand the
But
second
Jeff's,
step here.
Jeff's
It
right.
was so silly.
If he didn't lose his arms, what would his power have been? Bigger normal arms?
Who knows? But
Just like
No,
he would have got a
his
pair of
character for the
anchor
next
arms
movie.
from SpongeBob and just inflated them
Ooh.
larger.
it's like Popeye, where they're really big at the tops.
It
I-
even
I think-
comes with an anchor tattoo.
Yeah, I think if you redo it, I think if you redo the movie, you don't have him get the arms. You have his Arcana or whatever passed to Sonya or something. Then you give him the metal arms on his own. Then you do kind of go the other way and have him kind of break out of them or something when he gets his Arcana. Like that's what I would say you do. Like with the story is that like like that would make more sense. Like he does that whole like healing storyline. Like
Yeah.
you would do that like in the second movie. You would have it like you would save it for that. He would just be a sacrifice in the first one. Like it would be great if he like, gets his arms fucking ripped off and it's just sad. Like for the rest, like, oh shit, like he really did save you. Like and it gives you this sense that like if you just stop and make him an armless freak for the rest of the movie. Like, I'm sorry, like I hate that, but like
Troy loves it.
you give him baby arms, it's just funny. Like I don't know, like it's just
Jeff,
you could have kind
I
of went
appreciate
for
you.
it.
I know, thank you. But after Cole gets powered up, Raiden teleports all of them like to the void to regroup, and then Cole has the idea to just send them all like one at each other at a time, and then they take everybody on. Sonya gets a rematch with Kano with Laser Eye, and she fucking kicks his ass. And after she kills him, she gets his mark, and her Arcana is her wrist guns that she has in the games.
Yeah.
With like the
Oh,
pink
I
energy.
liked how she got the chemical solvent from the bathroom, like everybody has.
Yeah, totally. I don't fuck.
I mean, she's special forces.
Yeah, she may have like prepped that. Who knows? And then Jack's got a rematch with the big hammer man, who was clearly Shao Kahn, but not Shao Kahn.
Well, in the PlayStation
Shaka
2 era, there was a character named Raiko who does not look like this. And he kind of is. He's like he wants to be like Shao Kahn. And he wants to be the emperor, but he's very much not this. This is not the same. Did you just look him up?
no, I was looking at my Fitbit for my steps today.
Oh,
but
okay,
no,
that's
it's
less
fine.
interesting.
It's
They sort of designed him as like a reverse Thanos, where he has like the lines on his forehead instead of the chin.
Yeah, but either way, Jax kicks his ass pretty handily. He just like rips his hammer apart and then just like beats this motherfucker apart, and then just like claps his hands together on his head and it just shatters and whatever. And then
Here's my other thing. Why are you going to use the pit stage and not have somebody get stabbed in spikes in the pit?
because that's not the direction the movie went in.
I know, but that's the wrong direction.
No.
Listen, Troy. No one involved in this movie played the game. All right.
Troy, they got to save something for the
Distracts.
next one.
No, I understand that, but I feel like they're saving a little too much for the next one.
It's just an episode of Dawson's Creek. He's like, yeah, but I think they should do something in this movie. It's just like, I don't know, like, dude, like, what was the whole plot line where he like
I'm
loved
like,
his
imagine
neighbor?
if fucking Iron Man 1, he was just a billionaire and he breaks out of a cave and then it goes
Yo,
to
they gotta
credits.
save something for the sequel, man. It's just a businessman movie. It's just Wolf of Wall Street. It's like
He gets kidnapped by terrorists in like the last half of the movie.
Yeah. So
just get to the summary.
The plan was to save Sub-Zero for last. They would all team up on him because he's incredibly powerful. But instead, after everybody wins their fights, Sub-Zero kidnaps Cole's family and then taunts him and goads him into a fight. And Cole follows him through a little teleporty black portal thing that apparently Sub-Zero can do now. And
then Raiden doesn't teleport the rest of them there.
Well, Raiden didn't see it happen. I don't think Raiden knows he's there. But
because Raiden can't see anything.
But Raiden teleported all the bad
he
guys
can teleport
without seeing them.
anybody anywhere.
who knows? It's strange. But he also doesn't know where they are, and maybe he needs to know where to send them to.
My headcanon is Raiden.
He's
was
jerking
drunk.
off at the local generator plant.
I was saying he was drunk,
like,
but that's a
sucking in,
whole
like,
different.
electricity.
You
That's a
went a
different
whole
character.
different
Juicing
route.
up. Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah. Like, why aren't you paying attention, Raiden?
This is the big fight that everyone wanted, right? Because now Cole is fighting Sub-Zero, and it's not going super well for Cole, and he's trying to do his best, and initially he's getting his ass kicked until he pulls out the original Hanzo Hasashi's kunai blade, and he tries to use it against Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero recognizes it as being Hanzo's blade, and he tries to shove it in Cole's face. Cole gets his hand cut, blood on the blade, and then fire erupts from the blade. And that is when, from behind Sub-Zero, we get Scorpion coming out of the ground. And he fucking sends his kunai through Sub-Zero's shoulder, and the iconic "Get Over Here" plays. Chris,
And the actual music plays.
The musical sting that comes in when he gets harpooned through the shoulder is fucking great.
it's like a
Because you
modern.
immediately know what's happening.
It's a modern electronica version of the original Mortal Kombat
dig it.
music, and it's
I
fucking insane.
gotta say,
dig
I did go into it going, this is a bad movie if it doesn't have the original theme, and it's a good movie if it does. That was kind of part of my criteria.
So you're just
It's
coming at this
so
movie
good.
wrong from
The
every
original, how did the first movie capture it so well?
angle. I don't know.
While not really capturing it at all, it also
It's
captured it
PG-13,
perfectly.
It shouldn't have been anything.
Yeah, this movie is a hard, rated R. Like, there are fucks everywhere, motherfucker everywhere, blood, gore, bits, and the whole shebang. But then Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight, and Cole joins in for a little bit while also trying to save his family from the ice. And
It
Scorpion,
is so hard to make a movie like the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but,
I
is that a bad thing?
I miss animatronic
No.
Goro.
Animatronic Goro was bad.
No, you're incorrect.
The living kunai coming out
It's
of his
pretty
palm was
bad.
bad.
No, Goro.
I know, I'm saying like that.
I
a lot of
really
things in
do
that movie were
appreciate
bad.
them trying
No,
to
you're
do
right.
animatronic Goro, but
Mm-hmm.
Raiden was better in the original than he is in this one. 'Cause Raiden has always
Him
been-
and Shang Tsung are so much better.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Raiden was always like, I believe in Earthrealm, and then it's like when fucking
Your sideshow freaks attacked my warriors.
when they showed up originally, and Raiden's all
Yeah,
disappointed
it's
and
all good.
berating them. The real Raiden
Turn
would
your
not do that. What?
turn your video back on, Troy.
I can't. My phone's dying. It turns
well,
off on its
Womp
own.
womp.
womp womp. But fucking the real Raiden was not like a mean old grumpy man. He was a really nice guy that was trying to help Earthrealm and believe in the
And
good
he
in
was
everyone.
white.
Yes.
Also, I think he was white.
Before
But-
he asphyxiated himself jerking off. But
Sub-Zero
whatever.
gets
I mean,
killed by Scorpion using one of Scorpion's classic fatalities where he breathes
Pretty sure that's how
fire
he died.
onto the person and kills them. And then the day is won, except Shang Tsung shows back up and he's just like, the tournament will continue as planned. And then fucking Raiden sends him away to Outworld. He just zaps him away. And then he's like, Shang Tsung's got a point. We got to find more fighters. So all of you go do that.
Oh, I really thought you meant Shang Tsung's got a point, as in maybe Earthrealm isn't
Is
worth
fucked.
saving. Yeah.
No, but he's like, Shang Tsung is right. The tournament will continue, so I need you to go find fighters. And then we get a little hint of the sequel, because Cole's just like, I'm heading to Hollywood. And his fucking old coach, trainer person is like, what's in Hollywood? And he's just like,
I know
not a what, a who.
I know I tried to call it. I'm so happy Cole Young's not Johnny Cage.
I know. me
Listen,
too.
you were a fraction off. It was almost that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the ending that you were saying.
I also love how the movie poster
so-
was Citizen Cage. I was like, oh,
Citizen
Which is
Cage-
only
so-
it's no longer the greatest movie of all time,
The
apparently. according to Rotten
size,
Tomato.
the size of his hands leads it was an odd choice. It was a very big figure that was kind of in the Johnny Cage, and I'm wondering, did they already cast this? Is this a thing?
Well,
Are they
I'm
like?
assuming
Is
they
it
haven't.
is it John Cena? Is it the Miz? Like, is it a wrestler?
If John Cena is fucking Johnny Cage, I'll lose my fucking mind.
That would be awesome.
I'm assuming it's not cast yet. That's why we didn't get a pan up. It was
I don't
just
know what
from
you
the
mean.
waist
You would
down.
lose your mind, like in a bad way or a good way.
In the
Do you
best
think John
possible
Cena
way.
would do an R-rated movie?
Yeah, I think so.
John
I
Cena's
would.
a very
He's in-
kid-friendly
he's in-
public
he's,
figure.
He's gonna be in what's his face? He's gonna be in Suicide Squad.
hmm
Yeah,
That's
James
fine.
Gunn's
True.
Suicide Squad. You're
What are
right,
you
and
talking about?
that's
He's
a
fine with
hard
it. He'll
R
do
as
whatever.
well.
He's good.
And also, Johnny
no.
Cage is just like lovable and fun. It fits like a. I mean, if he's like a little bit of a douchebag, but he kind
The
of like
Miz-
Doing the
The
splits
Miz-
and punching his opponent in the dick. That's
Yeah.
not,
The Miz
douchebag.
works. The Miz is a wrestler that fits the profile really well.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
Oh,
Guys,
He's so small
fuck.
though.
Johnny
but
Cage
yeah,
never
true.
takes his hands out of his
Cassidy.
pockets.
It's just he doesn't. He can't. He's not a good enough wrestler.
Oh no.
It's like he's only
That's
as
what
good
special
a
effects
wrestler.
are for. That's what special effects are for. It's fine.
I would love to see him as a Mortal Kombat character. Orange Cassidy. Oh, we
I
haven't.
know
had an OC
Ryan. I
reference
know
in a while.
Ryan Reynolds threw his hat into the ring on like online, but I don't know. I feel like
No,
he's like
that.
halfway there, but not.
No,
yeah.
no. He's too
I feel like-
actually cool.
I feel like
He's
the-
too actually cool.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Johnny
Like-
Cage needs to be a certain level of not cool.
I'm telling you, look up the Miz, the WWE, the Miz. I'm telling you, it's him. It's him. It's perfect. He's like, it's really funny. He tells some. He's like a classic wrestler
I mean,
guy.
just looking at him,
love
yeah,
it.
that's Johnny Cage.
So, I gotta say, I know where I know Sonya Blade from, because the actress's name is Jessica McNamee, and she was in The Meg. She was the female lead.
Oh, I saw the Meg. Okay.
She was in The Meg. She was also in the movie remake of Chips in 2017.
Who are we making Jason Statham?
Oh, Jason Statham's got to be in the movie too, right?
Oh, who's Jason Statham?
In what movie? What are you
He
talking
can
about?
be
Mortal
resurrected
Kombat
Kano. Who knows?
It just changes actors.
Yeah, sure,
Why not?
Wait. Why is Jason Statham play somebody in the movie?
No, I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
he
no.
should.
Oh. Yeah. No. Striker.
Yeah, I could see it.
He's coming out.
No,
with like
back when he
police
had
brutality
hair,
movie,
like
isn't
back when Jason Statham had hair,
he? Mhm.
when he was a diver. You've seen these pictures, right?
Oh yeah, I have actually.
What if he was Baraka?
Is that why he fought the Meg?
No.
It is. He lost his hair.
What
Oh,
if
the
Jason
Meg ate all his
Statham
hair.
was Baraka?
The Meg is getting a sequel.
Baraka just doesn't
Barack
talk enough.
Obama.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes.
Barack Obama as
the first- you're-
Baraka.
Actually, D, I gotta say, I think you're the first one to come up with that joke. I think
Yeah.
this is it. I think this is a world's
Damn it.
first.
Damn it. I forgot that I didn't ever play video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes
Barack
sense.
Obama is actually a joke we've been doing in our friend circle for quite a long time.
It also
I get
is
it
the
now.
internet,
I get
too.
it. I see how cheesy the joke is now. I get it.
Yeah,
Fine.
get out
No,
of here,
it's-
old man.
It's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Nah, this is for us kids.
Hey guys, should I get one of these Facebooks?
That was Mortal Kombat, everybody. It was a really good fighting movie. The plot's there. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. Just
I'll
watch
tell
a
you what,
bunch
the
of dudes
movie's
get
probably
murdered.
better than this podcast coverage of it.
Yeah, and it's about
Definitely.
as long, so, you know.
Well, we didn't spoil anything.
We spoiled all of it. What are you talking about?
This is
Yeah,
spoiler.
but-
This is spoiler-free podcast. This is
How
the best we
much-
can do for that.
How much of this movie has spoilers?
That's the thing. It's just a bunch of fights. Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
But okay, so here's my genuine question. This or 1995 Mortal Kombat?
This.
I'm definitely 1995.
I'm definitely this.
Okay.
That's not
And
even.
what about the other two?
Really?
D and Chris?
I'm a
the
95
original
guy, man.
versus this one?
Like, I'm
I've
okay
never
with
seen the
this,
original.
but-
I've never seen the original, so
Oh.
Get
I'll
the
have
fuck
to go
off this
with
podcast. Why? How do you even exist as a person? Like,
D.
what?
I
No.
live
No,
under
no,
a
no.
rock.
It doesn't matter. You still have the internet.
But we should all get together and watch an island.
Why do I only get to look at you two? Why can't I see Troy?
Because his
My
phone
phone
died. He said
died.
that.
I know. I'm asking rhetorically.
Hey, D, close your eyes real quick. Close your eyes real quick. I need you to enter your mind palace, and I just need you to imagine the cutest little dimples, the cutest little dimps on a face. Do you see it? Is it working?
This is the end of the TB&J
Totally did.
podcast. Not just
Totally
this
did.
episode, the whole thing. We're
Just
done.
much
forever.
better now.
We're done.
Welcome
thank
to the
you
final
all.
episode.
Go watch
the
Mortal
TB&J
Kombat if you
podcast.
hadn't.
At least we
Also,
can sleep in.
teaser for those of you that listen this long. I don't know why you would. We're probably covering Star Wars: The Bad Batch next, so stay tuned for that because I hear it's really good and I like
Now,
Star Wars.
can you explain to me what a
What about
Star
Loki?
War is?
Also, maybe Loki. We haven't decided yet. We'll figure
How many
that out.
Star Wars have there been?
Thank you all for listening to this podcast. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, even though they don't deserve it. We got Troy Brittingham, aka the Dimp.
Yo.
We got Chris Carroll, aka Hermit.
Kermit?
Hermit.
I also heard Kermit. Hello.
Herpit.
Chris the Frog here.
Oh, hi. I would like to talk about Mortal Kombat. Oh, fatality!
Also, D is. Thank you, D, for joining us and
You're welcome.
progressively getting drunker as the day goes on.
Miss Piggy, get over here!
Don't worry. This show sobers me up.
And
over
I'm the real host, Jeff Ackerman, here for you. You're very
I
welcome.
thought you were going to say you're the real Jeff.
Oh, so you're who we should arrest.
I'm the real Slim Shady. No, I'm kidding. I'm not, there's nothing slim about me at all
But you're
except
sitting
my
down.
pee-pee.
You're sitting down.
That
If
would
you
be
like what
really
you-
funny if your PP was really slim after. Like,
Yeah,
in
if only,
contrast.
right?
Like that was the thing.
Yeah, totally. So
That and your perfect nose.
my perfect nose. No one's ever told me that before. Thank
It's a
you.
beautiful nose.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
So we got the perfect dick and the perfect nose on the podcast?
If you like what you heard, go ahead and leave us a kind 5-star review on your favorite podcasting
Eventually
platform.
we'll create the perfect band.
If you want to tell us what to watch, or just your thoughts, or cuss us
We'll
out,
just have to
whatever,
start cutting pizzas off of each other.
you can email us
And then we'll form Nick.
You can email us at tbandjpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all once again for listening. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.